नमस्सर्वेभ्यः कक्ष्यायां स्वागतं प्रार्थनया प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरिः ओं तत्सत्। अस्तु, गतवासरान्ते अस्माभिः अष्टमपाठस्य आरम्भः कृतः। तत्र त्वान्तानां विषये किञ्चित् उदाहरणानां सहायेन ज्ञानं प्राप्त्वा कुत्र त्वान्तानाम् उपयोगः भवति, किमर्थम् इति ज्ञातम्. So we understood that त्वान्त prayoga for a dhatu is done to indicate the completion of one action before the onset of another by a common agent or the karta. Okay, so Ramah gacchati, Ramah pathati. If there are two phrases that follow one another, then we can combine them using Ramah gatva pathati. Ramah gatva pathati. We can enhance the sentence with Ramah shalam gatva pustakam pathati. So we can, each of the halves can have their own karma pada and other associated linkages to other nouns. So the gatva embeds the gam dhatu, which is the action of going, in the sense of completion, but continues to hold its circle of influenced nouns. So Rama is the common karta, of course, between gam dhatu and the eventual pat dhatu that will appear. But importantly, there can be unique karma padas and unique other padas. Okay. So for example, Ramah yanena shalam gatva. So now you have added yana as another namapada associated with the gamana kriya. Yanena as an agent of instrument. So in tritiya vibhakti, yanena shalam gatva. Okay. Santoshena pustakam patati. So Santoshena becomes a kriya visheshana. With happiness he reads the book, like that. Okay. So Tritiya Vibhakti is also, we have noticed, is used for kriya visheshanas in many instances. Or Uchchaihi pustakam patati, an avyaya shabda Uchchaihi, which is fixated in a sense in Tritiya. Okay. So that kind of usage also is possible. Of course, we can bring in many other noun agents into the equation with the respective dhatus, but that is not the focus here. Just is to focus on what is this tvanta. And so the agent has to be common, the karta has to be common, and further there has to be a completion of one action, and then the other action should ensue. There need not be a karya karana bhava. It's need not be that the first action has something very deterministic in the second action taking place. It is just temporally important. That means in the time sequence they happen. And another thing is tvanta is not a past tense as such. Okay, so as you will see, Ramaha shalam gatva shvaha pustakam patishyati. So we can push the whole gamanakriya and the patanakriya into the future. Gatva doesn't change in any sense. It remains gatva, whether it has happened in the past, it's just happened, or will happen in the future. Okay. Ramaha hyaha shalam gatva pustakam patitavan. So that is all in past tense. Ramaha gatva pustakam patati. You can say technically both are in present tense there in a sense. And Ramaha shvaha shalam gatva pustakam patishyati. So the actual time element of when the action happens is still with the pradhana kriya pada, which comes in the end. That patati, apathat, patishyati variants. Okay. So that's another important lesson to learn about this tvantas. Tvantas don't decide the timeline. They become simply a completed action before the other verb, which can be in past, present, or future. Okay, so Tvanta as such doesn't have a technically a fixated tense, but it is before the other action. So that's what we saw. And so some examples were read, and so pruchati becomes pruštva, vahati, udva. Some complex ones also we saw. Gacchati, gatva, yachati, datva, tishtati, sthitva, nayati, neetva, gayati, geetva, smarati, smritva. So few, it will be nice for us to make our own scratch sheet with tvantas of quite a good set of popular kriyapadas. Okay. And where is Tvanta used? As you can see, Tvanta has k, t, va, but what will remain is Tva. Kakara that is there in the beginning is a technical letter added by Panini. Okay, Tva is the actual embedded data. Okay, so Pat plus Tva, Patitva, and then there is a Prakriya, which is why Ikara also has come there. Okay, some transformative laws that determine the final form. Okay, so now when should you use Tva pratyaya? Of course, it is when we want to indicate a completed action prior to another taking place by the same karta. But more importantly, it is allowed only when there is a upasarga less dhatu. That means a pure dhatu. Okay, prichati has a pure dhatu. Okay, vahati has a pure dhatu. Gacchati gam dhatu. Tishtati stha dhatu. Nayati ni dhatu. Gayati ki or gai dhatu. Something like that. Okay, so these kind of original dhatu is required. You cannot have a prefix annotated onto the dhatu, in which case another different pratyaya is used in the same sense, which is the focus of the next portion of the lesson, and that is called lyap pratyaya. Lyap pratyaya. Okay, so again only ya will remain, but the whole pratyaya is called lyap pratyaya. Lyabantam. So lyap becomes lyab due to some visarga, due to some vyanjana sandhi. So lyap antam becomes lyabantam in total. So tvantam, lyabantam are like complements. Tvantam for pure dhatus, lyap antams in the same sense for upasarga yukta dhatus. We are going to study that. So let me invite someone to help us with reading this. Okay. So Shri Venkatesh Paivarya, can you unmute? Participate. Huh.
Yes, please. Yeah.
If you can read 1 through 9 sentences slowly, sir. Yeah, along with the English translation.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will make it up. Okay. Sure. Arakshakaha choram anusrutya gatavan. A police went chasing the thief. If you want
No, continue. I will
to
come back
give
and summarize.
explanation.
No. You complete, then I will go into that. Yes.
Okay. Choraha dhanam apahritya dhavitavan. A thief ran away after stealing the money. Number 3. Shastram abhyasya saha panditah abhavat. He became a learned man after studying the law. Bhaktaha devaya pushpani samarpya gatavan. The devotee went away after offering flowers to God. Sevakaha vrikshat avatirya gatavan. Servant went away after climbing down from the tree. Tvam rajjum akrishya pashya. You pull the rope and see. Tvam deepam nirvapya shayanam kuru. You sleep after putting off the lamp. Aham sanmargam ashritya gachami. I get on following the right path. 9th, last one. Saha yantram upadhya vikrayanam karoti. Utpadhya. I read something else. Just
Upadhya you read.
Okay, utpadhya, sorry. Saha yantram utpadya vikrayanam karoti. He manufactures the machine and sells it.
Perfect. Thank you, Arya. So, if you see, basically, yeah, this exercise is very critical, where Venkateshwarya now has practiced it by pronouncing it himself. When you read and pronounce yourself, certain increased learning happens. So, you all should do that anyways. Okay. That's why I make sample one of the students do it. And the other thing is we should listen carefully when he's saying and let the sentence fall into our ears along with the meaning. Okay. So now what is happening here is, if you see, Arakshakah Anusrutya Gatavan. Choram is a karma pada for the karma pada for Anusarana. So Sarati, that is the original form, I think. So Anusrutya, having followed, Anu Upasarga is there. Okay. So having followed the Chora, the thief, he went like that. Okay. So I'll just mute because some noise is coming. Yeah. Okay. So having followed the thief, he went. So now this active verb is now actually in Kridanta form, the Tavatu Kridanta, Gatavan. So Arakshakaha Gatavan. But Arakshakaha Gatavan Asit. We can imagine an as dhatu there. Asit or Asti or something. Okay. To complete the requirement of thing anta for the sentence. Okay, but here technically it's sufficient to end with Gatavan. So there is no mandation that the active verb need not be a Kridanta like Gatavan. Okay, in which case the active verb is a adhyakrita placeholder like asti, asit, etc. Anyway, Arakshakaha choram anusrutya gatavan. So, because anu is there, we cannot say anusrutva. It is incorrect to do the tvanta for this dhatu. So, normally sarati srutva, something like that will come. Okay. So, that is allowed if it was just sridhat. It's rarely used that way. So, anusrutya lyabanta has been used. Okay. Anusrutya gatavan. Okay. Mm. Chorah dhanam apahritya harane, some stealing or drawing oneself, akarshane harane, like that. Okay. So, apahritya, so to take it away from someone, that is apaharan. So apahritya dhavitavan, having stolen he ran, like that. Dana is the karma of the apaharana. So again here apahritva is incorrect. We have to do apahritya. So ya ending has to come. Okay. So instead of tvanta, lyabanta comes. Shastram abhyasya saha panditah abhavat. So here lung has been used. See, Davitavan Gatavan was Tavatu, lung has been used here. See, abhavat. So panditah is the common karta. So panditah shastram abhyasya saha panditah abhavat. Here the accent has been put, everything karta has been put, and the second part doesn't mean he is absent in the first. He draws back to the first one. But the order of words gives a better sense. शास्त्र को पढ़ाई करके वो पंडित बन गया, लाइक दैट. ओके, तो इसीलिए ये बाद में लगाया है सह पंडित टू गेट द बेटर इफेक्ट. ओके, सो अभ्यस्य. सो अगेन देयर इज अ उपसर्ग देयर. ओके, भक्तः देवाय पुष्पाणि समर्प्य गतवान्. सो arpanam. So that sam is the upasarga added. Okay. Sushtu or samyak arpya arpayitva. It would have been tvanta would have been arpayitva. But here samarpya comes. Okay. Bhaktaha devaya pushpani samarpya gatavan. He gave. So like this. Avatirya. So ava upasarga is there. So getting down. So climbing down is avatirana. So avatirya. So then rajum akrishya. So akarshana. So ang upasarga is there. Krish dhatu. Okay. So akrishya, attracting. Okay, so you pull the rope. Of course, attraction here becomes pull for the rope. Okay, pashya. So here the active kriya pada is in lot. You see, there is no necessity that it has to be in lat or langa. So it can be in all abhavas. So pashya. Okay, tvam pashya. Okay, tvam deepam nirvapya apya nihi. Okay, so nirvapya shayanam kuru. So basically in the olden days they used to turn down the oil lamps by closing it, right? They would close the lid onto the exit of the hot air, so it will automatically go off. So that sense has continued. Okay, so you would close the lamp by closing the lid. So that's what. So tvam deepam nirvapya shayanam kuru. Aham sanmargam ashritya gacchami. So uh, I'm not sure of what is the dhatu form there, but ang upasarga is clear there. Okay, so ashraya with the ang built in it comes. So ashritya. Okay, so everywhere tvanta is not used, but lyabanta is used because of the upasarga. So yantram utpadya. Okay, so ut is the upasarga up. Okay, and I don't know that padya. What is the dhatu again? Pa is protection, but I don't know whether that is the dhatu. We will figure it out. Okay, so that saha yantram utpadya vikrayanam karoti. So he manufactures and sells that one. Okay. Okay. So a few more sentences are there. Maybe another volunteer can close out these sentences for us. Let me invite Rama R. Varye. Rama R. Varye. If you can help us read the balance 5, 6 sentences. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Is it on the screen?
Yes, number 10 onwards.
Balakaha uttaya vadati. The boy gets up and speaks. Saha upavishya patati. He studies sitting down. Karmakari patram prachalaya gatavati. The maid servant went away after washing the vessel. Archakaha devam alankritya pujayati. The priest decorates and worships the god, idol of God, and worships God.
I mean, the decorates in the sense has been put into the idol of God. Okay, because decoration is for the idol and the worship is for the that Murta Prajna, which is the eventual God. Yeah.
Janaha Kshiram Ushnikritya Pibanti. People drink milk after heating it. Nirdanaha Dhanam Vyayikritya Roditi. A poor man cries after spending money.
They never do, but anyway, it's the Dhanika which does that. But let us take the sentence for what it is. Okay, all right. So, you few more examples. So, stha dhatu becomes utthaya with ut upasarga. So, sthitva vadati would have been the tvanta. Utthaya vadati is with the standing up, having stood up sense. Okay, so uttaya having stood up. Up is coming from ut. Sthadatu gives the standing sense, and ya gives the lyap gives the completion sense, having stood up sense. Okay, so the whole phrase is embedded in uttaya, having stood up. Okay. Of course, they have used a slightly different English phrase, but literally this means the boy having stood up, he says. That's all it's saying. Okay. Saha upavishya. So vishati is the dhatu. Vishati is the lat form. So upasarga is there. So upavishya. Visha dhatu would have been vishitva or something like that. Okay. So here it is upavishya comes. Okay. So that's how we almost never use the vish dhatu alone. We always use with the upaveshanam. So it's become, some dhatus are famous with some upasargas only. So that's the important thing. So karmakari patram prakshalya. So kshal dhatu, kshal shuddhikarane, something like that. Okay. So prakshalya, properly having cleaned, some sense like that. Okay. Prakshalya. So kshalayitva in the tvanta becomes prakshalya in lyabanta with the pra upasarga. Okay. Then archakah devam alankritya. See, kritva is the original tvanta version of the dhatu, but kritva changes to something kritya. Here alam. See, this one is a alam has been added to kru dhatu in the place of an upasarga. So this is very important to see. Not just the 22 upasarga list mandates the lyabanta. There are some upasarga like attachments that come, okay, which also influence the lyabanta. They have not specifically said that so far, okay, but you can see this alang is not a upasarga, ushni is not a upasarga, vyayi is not a upasarga. These are other than upasarga type prefixes that also enhance the dhatus. Somehow they have not gotten into the standard upasarga list. They are there additionally. Okay. Whereas pra, upa, ut, they are all standard upasargas. Okay. So, but they also are acting like upasargas as far as the action of tvanta switching to lyabanta takes place. So, alam means enough. Okay. So, alamkritya is a wonderful derivation. Kritva is having done. Alam means enough. Enough having done, how does it transform to decoration? That is a rudhi. Okay. I mean, having done it enough properly so that it is beautifully visible. Some sense like that is there in alankritya. Okay. So ushni kritya, very obvious. Ushna is heat and having heated up. Very simple. Vyaya is expense. Vyayi kritya, having spent, like that. Okay. So this, you see, these last three examples are not upasarga standard. They are upasarga like attachments. Okay. All right. In the above, thanks Bhagini for reading them. In the above sentences, words with lyap suffix are given in block letters. They are called lyabanta words. The tvanta word for harati is hrtva, but ktva becomes lyap in bracket ya. You see, the working suffix is ya. When the verb has a prefix. Okay, harati hrtva, ktva suffix. Apaharati, apahritya, not apahritva, using lyap suffix. You know that the first verb takes twa when the same subject is performing two actions. Lyap is also added in the same sense. Otherwise, there is no difference for lyap from twanta. All the other technicalities are common. Okay, all the other technicalities are common. It is suffixed only when a root is having a prefix. Okay, and the prefix can be beyond just upasargas. Okay. Some examples: pariharati, parihritya. So hritva becomes parihritya. Okay, samarpayati, arpayati. So arpayitva becomes samarpya. Arohati, rohativa, ruhativa, I am not sure. Okay, so rohitvava, ruhitvava, I am not sure again. So aruhya it becomes. Upavishati, so vishtva becomes upavishya. Okay. Prakshalayati, kshalayitva becomes prakshalya. So I wish they had given a middle column to show the tvanta version of the pure dhatu also. Maybe what we can do is refer things and keep a note in our book. Okay, build the library of such terms. Okay. So now the subject switch from Tvanta and Lebanta, having practiced them, to Panchami Vibhakti usage. As you know, no, we have been kind of learning two grammatical threads in each chapter, and Vibhaktis are something that has been our focus since from beginning. So, of course, first lakaras were taught, few lakaras, four lakaras were taught, lat, lung, rung, and lrit, and lot were taught. Okay, so now we are been moving along in the vibhakti world. From prathama was obvious, so dvitiya, tritiya, chaturthi we studied so far. Now panchami time. So panchami, as you know, is source case. In mentally easy to remember in the mind as a source case. Basically, vrikshat parnam patati is a very, very classic example of Panchami. The picture I have shown also. Okay, so something we have to embed in our head. That is the most common case, and there are a lot of derivative cases. So the if you see the coloration, I have this tinge blue, tinge green, tinge yellow colorations, and maybe few more. No, that's all. So there are three types of Panchami usage that have been highlighted in these examples. Samskrita Bharati has not explicitly colored them or showed them with a delineation, but I have done that so that we can later correlate with their explanation and come back to which sentence follows which prototype. Okay, all right. So again, it's time to help read this thing. So let's see. Jyoti Prakash Varye, are you able to help us by reading today? Jyoti Prakash. Looks my students run away from the computer when it's time to participate. Okay. Balwant Surti Varya.
Sir.
Excellent, sir. So if you can lead us through the first column of sentences slowly in the same way that Bhaginis and brothers read earlier. Yeah. Ablative is the English technical word for Panchami. Ablative. Continue, sir.
Vrukshat parnam apatat. A leaf fell from the tree.
Hmm.
Vrukshebhyah falani patanti. Fruits fall from trees.
Hmm.
Graminah gramat agachati. A villager comes from the village. Devtaha swargat agachanti. Gods come from heaven.
Hmm.
Nirjarah parvatat pravahati. A stream flows from the mountain.
So these five sentences that Mahodaya has read so far, they belong to the actual kind of source of something physical. Okay, so the leaf is a physical thing that separates from the tree. So separation sense is there in them. So the leaf separates from the tree, the fruit separate from the multiple trees. The citizen, Gramina citizen, he separates himself from the grama and comes. So devatas separate themselves from Swarga and come hopefully to our Loka. Then Nirjaraha Parvatat. So Nirjaraha is like a stream, mountain stream. So that separates from the mountain and flows down. So these kind of separations, okay, are obvious from this. I mean separation of a Gramina from Grama is less obvious to us, but it is, you can see Devatas from Swarga. So people leaving a location, objects leaving their hosted location like leaf, fruits, and water. These kind of things are all in the separation category. So the standard case of ablation, separation. Okay. So the source of separation becomes the Panchami, Vrikshat, Vrikshebhyah, Bahuvachana, Gramat, Swargat, Parvatat. They have not highlighted, but those are our focus words in Panchami. Continue, sir.
Gauri alasyat na pathati. Due to laziness, Gauri does not study.
uh,
Naryah atpat glayanti.
Atapat.
Atapat glayanti. Women become pale due to sun's heat.
In fact, they will become red. Okay, anyway, we'll take this paleness. Continue, sir.
Tarunyah kamudyaha nandanti. Young ladies enjoy because of moonlight. Janantavah
Jantavaha.
suryat jantavah suryat jivanti. Animals live because of the sun. Harinah Vyagrat trasyati. A deer is scared of the tiger.
Excellent. Three more you read off to conclude the section, then we will comment on it.
Gajaha simhat trasyanti. Elephants fear the lion. Naryaha sarpat atrasyan. Women are scared of the
Were
snake.
past tense.
Were scared of the snake. Aham chorebhyah atrasyam. I got scared of robbers.
Thanks very much, Balwantwarya. You read very well. So in the second segment that Balwantji read, uh, rather than a physical source, the word in the Panchami like Alasyat, Atapat, Kaumudyaha, Suryat, Vyagrat, Simhat, Sarpat, they are all are the reason for some kind of conclusive action or non-action. In some cases like Napatati is a non-action. So they become the cause of something. Okay, so cause of something happening or not happening. Okay, so that kind of sense is there in the Panchami. So the due to sense. Okay, so in addition to the from sense which we saw in the 1 through 5 source sense, here the source sense is there, but in the sense of causal source. That means due to sense, not exactly as an emanation point of some object that moved from there to elsewhere, but some bhava that was caused by it. Okay, so that is the important technical variation. You will notice it very carefully in the if you analyze the sentences. Alasya is the reason for non-reading. Sun heat is the reason for getting tired. Glayanti. Becoming pale is a little bit far interpretation. So here it's more in the sense of they become like flowers that are, the flowers become mature and become down. That sense is there in the glaya. Okay, and then Kaumudyaha Nandati. So here the moonlight is the cause of harsha in the Tarunis. Okay, so then Surya is the cause of life. Okay, Vyagra is the cause of bhiti. Trasa, bhiti. Then Simha is the cause of again bhiti in elephants, though not in the same sense as Harina. It is in the case of Gajas, if there is a baby only, they become fearful. Otherwise, they are quite attacking. Anyway, Sarpa becomes the reason for a fear in the Naris. Okay, so you can see the active verb has been put in various forms. Atrasyan, lang, trasyanti, lat, bahuvachana. So Uttama Purusha, any of those active portions can go in their own ways based on the karta and the requirement. But the cause is in standard Panchami. So there is no tense associated with the noun. So Simhat, Sarpat, Chorebhya, tense is associated with the verb. Okay. So this is the important distinction for us. Now let us take another volunteer's help for the yellow set. Brunalini Sharma Varye. Mahoday. Number 14 onwards to 20 is yours. Slowly go through, just like brother did before.
Bharataha Lakshmanat Purvaha. Bharata was born before Lakshmana. Lakshmanaha Shatrugnat Purvaha. Lakshmana was born before Shatrughna. Vaishakaha Chaitrat Paraha. Vaishaka is after Chaitra. Bhimaha Yudhishtirat Paraha. Bhima is after Yudhishthira. Amrapalam Dadimbemat Shreshtam.
Punaha.
Amrapalam Dadimat Shreshtam. Mango is superior to pomegranate. Mahabharatam Ramayanat Visrutam.
Vistrutam.
Visrutam. Mahabharata is vaster than Ramayana. Kalidasaha Bhavabhutehe Shreshtaha. Kalidasa is greater than Bhavabhuti.
Some of them are opinions, some of them are clear facts. But anyway, we will not try to argue the meaning. We will try to understand the nature of the Panchami. So in the first case, in the light blue, it was source of something. In the second case, it was the cause of something. In this third case, it is a subject of comparison as a referral point to describe something else. Okay, so it becomes a referral point for comparison, okay, of some quality difference. So if you see Purva, Para, Shreshta, Vistruta, these are all quality. Shreshta comes again. So these are all quality words, right? So these are all quality words. And of course, the Kriya Pada is missing in all of them. We have to assume Bharataha Lakshmanat Purvaha Asti Asit, Lakshmanaha Shatrugnat Purvaha Asit, Vaishakaha Chaitrat Paraha Asti. Today also it is so. That's why we better say Asti. Bhimaha Yudhishtirat Paraha Asit. So that don't focus on the absence of the Kriya Pada. The Kta Kridanta is the ending word is complete, but you can add the correct Adhyaharana. So, but the comparison word is this. So, Bharata is prior to whom? To whom? Lakshmanath. That means he was born before Lakshmana. Similarly, Lakshmana was born before Shatrughna. Vaishaka is after Chaitra. So, before or after sense. Okay. Bhima is after Yudhishthira in birth, of course. Amrapala Dhadimat Shreshtam. So somebody has concluded mango is superior to pomegranate. Others may differ, but that's okay. Mahabharatam Ramayanat Vistrutam. This is clear. There is physical evidence of that. It is more elaborate than Ramayana. 24,000 verses in Ramayana, a lakh plus verses in the Mahabharatam. Okay, Kalidasaha Bhavabhutehe Shreshtaha. There is probably no argument. Bhavabhuti was a great Kavi, but Kalidasa is well above him in his creations. Okay, Shreshtaha, like this kind of. So, the reference point of a comparison to indicate another as superior, inferior, bigger, smaller, broader, narrower, any number of it can be a positive comparison or a negative comparison. Sometimes neither positive nor negative. Like Purva Para has no positive negativity associated with them. It's more about the lineage of time. But here, Shreshta, Vistruta, there's something about Shreshta being superior than the other. Okay, all right. So I think that is clear. So we saw three cases: source of an object, source of some action, okay, cause, not source, cause of an action, and the last case is the reference point of a comparison of two. Okay, beautiful. So now, thanks Bhagini, well read. So now we try to understand the forms. Like I have told earlier, tidbit pieces of memorizing only Panchami is not a useful practice, but they have tabulated this for us to help us. But here I have a slightly more easier reading. Ramaha Akaranta Pullinga Rama Shabda Ramat Ramabhyam Ramebhyah. If you remember, Ramaha Ramau Ramaha Ramam Ramau Raman Ramena Ramabhyam Ramaihi Ramaya Ramabhyam Ramebhyah Ramat Ramabhyam Ramebhyah Panchami. Then it goes on. Ramasya Ramayoho Ramanam Rame Ramayoho Rameshu. In the central column in Dvivachana, this Ramabhyam comes in three places. Okay, from Tritiya to Chaturthi to Panchami. Okay, so similarly again Shashti Saptami have common forms. Ramasya Ramayoho Ramanam Rame Ramayoho Rameshu. So Ramayoho repeats twice. So the middle column tends to have Okay, three forms. One form for Pratama and Dvitiya, one form for Tritiya, Chaturthi and Panchami, and one common form for Shashti and Saptami. So it's like really three forms. Okay, Dvivachana, roughly. I mean, I'm saying Prayaha, most likely. Okay, there will be rare exceptions, I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe it's unique everywhere like that. But Prathama Vibhakti usually has quite a drastic variation from one Vibhakti to another. Sometimes Prathama and Dvitiya track, like in Napumsakalinga, we have seen that. And Bahuvachana also tends to have variations, but not as much as Prathama. Sometimes there are some overlaps in third column, that is the Bahuvachana columns also. Okay, something to remember. So similarly, Sitayah, Sitabhyam, Sitabhyah, from Sita, if it was in the from case, due to Sita if it was in the due to case, or than Sita if it was a comparator case. Okay, so all those what do you call them, prepositions are possible in English. From, okay, due to, and than are possible due to the three colored cases we saw. Okay, all right. So Sitayah, Sitabhyam, Sitabhyah. Similarly, Napumsakalinga, Vanat, Vanabhyam, Vanebhyah. No difference from Akarantan, Pullinga. Then Ikarantas, Harehe, Haribhyam, Haribhyah. Matehe, Matibhyam, Matibhyah, Strilinga. Dadnah, Dadibhyam, Dadibhyah. So Dadnaha is a variation, but other than that, there is some similarity even in Pullinga and in Strilinga also. Then Ukarantas, Guru, Dhenu, Madhu Shabda. Guroho, Gurubhyam, Gurubhyah, Dhenvaha variation. Okay, Dhenubhyam, Dhenubhyah, Madunah, another variation. Madhubhyam, Madhubhyah, similar to Dadnah, Madunah. So there is something in Napumsaka about these nakaras. Okay, but if you see Dvivachana and Bahuvachana, almost Bhyam, Bhya, Bhyam, Bhya, Bhyam, Bhya, Bhyam, Bhya, very, very prototype copycats. Okay, then the Sarvanamas Tad in Pullinga and Strilinga, Tasmat Tebhyam, Tebhyah, the Pumsakalinga also is same there. Tasmat Tebhyam, Tebhyah, and in Strilinga, Tasyaha Tabhyam, Tabhyah. So te becomes tata here. Then Asmad and Yushmat, important one. Aham and Tvam, if you want to call them that. Mat avabhyam asmat, tvat yuvabhyam yushmat. From me, from the two of us, from all of us, from you, from the two of you, from all of you. If it is the from version of English. Conditional. Okay. Any questions? Of course, I have tried to construct these tables as accurately as possible. If there are errors there, please, if it comes to your notice, alert me so that I can correct them. But generally, I think I have it. Yeah, they have given a few more. Etat version also they have given. And then Kim version also they have in Kasmat Kebhyah. But that's very easy. Kasmat Kebhyam Kebhyah Kasyaha Kabhyam Kabhyah. Kim Shabda and Tat Shabda are very easy to track each other. And to some extent Asmad and Yushmad have a correlation between them. That is also we have to take advantage of that for memorizing. Okay, some rules pertaining to the ablative case. How are we doing on time? Good. So some rules pertaining to the Panchami case. Generally, when separation is denoted, the ablative is used. That was our green case. In the sentence, Vrikshat Parnam Patati, the leaf is separate. Oh, I changed the color. Oh, sorry. This is very bad of me. Oh, I changed in the wrong place. My God. Oh, here it is. This was the correct color if I remember. Yeah, I have to track what is there earlier. Okay, otherwise it's meaningless to color them. Okay, so generally when separation is denoted, ablative is used. In the sentence, Vrikshat Parnam Patati. What did I do? Okay, let me fix up the colors later, guys. Ignore the colors. It's very hard. I have the colors here. Anyway, so the words denote, the leaf is separated from the tree, so vriksha is in the ablative. The words denoting a cause of fear, this is the second case. This actually the colors were fine. I hurried. Samskrit Bharati has switched the order for us. Okay, I am sorry. I got confused. I don't know why they listed that first and then this to confuse us. But I got the colors right when I constructed the slides. So actually this is number 2 and this is number 1 in the way in which you read the sentences. Anyway, when the words denoting the cause of fear used with verbs is expressing fear or in the ablative case. Example, Harinaha Vyagrat Bibeti. Okay, the deer is afraid of the tiger. Vyagrat is in the ablative. So we saw a few more examples. Gauri alasyatna patati, naryaha atapat glayanti, tarunya kaumudya nandanti. I just threw in the additional examples. And this was actually the number 1. When an object is separated from another word, denoting the thing from which something is separated and which is comparatively stable, I mean unchanged in the sense. The first substratum of action of separation, they are going very technical here, gets the ablative case. Substratum means the solid base. Okay. Example, vrikshat parnam patati, from the tree. So vriksha is the first substratum of action of separation between vriksha and parna. Hence it is in the ablative case. It can't be more technically detailed. So we saw a few others. Vrikshebhyah palani patanti graminah gramat agacchati. So don't worry about the exact words when explaining something. I don't think Samskrita Bharati is going to give a question. What is ablative's case? Explain. That is all in our stupid Indian exams. They ask questions like that. The idea is not to remember how to describe it. The idea is to know how to apply it, right? That's my language. So Samskrita Bharati's questions will be largely application oriented. How always it should be in an exam. But in the rare event some silly question like that comes, construct using your own words. Remember the quality difference. We saw 3 variations, this and this. So remember that. That's important. And similarly for Chaturthi we would have seen 4 or 5 variations. So remember those variations. That's the important thing. Okay. And the exact words can be thrown in by yourself. So number 3, okay, is when the adjectives gunavachakaha, see we saw that purvaha, paraha, shreshtaha, etc. Basically for me comparative adjective is the better quality difference. Okay, comparative adjective, because someone, this is better, inferior, etc., longer, taller, shorter. So that than is important. Okay, the than thing goes into panchami. When our adjectives gunavachakaha, purvaha, paraha, shreshtaha are used, the words denoting that with respect to which, that is the reference basically, that with respect to which something else is earlier, later, superior, gets the ablative case. So that reference becomes the ablative. Bharata is elder to Lakshmana. Of course, to or than Lakshmana also can be used. So the than is a slightly easier phrase in English for us to refer to the reference of a comparison. Okay, Kalidasa Bhavabhute Shrestha, Kalidasa superior to Bhavabhuti than Bhavabhuti is also possible in English. So superior to whom? Superior to Bhavabhuti. So to is in the sense of than. Okay, THA and then. Taha. So another grammar lesson for us. We will learn that. So far what we learned? We learned Twanta Lyabanta. Twanta we started of course in the previous weekend. We saw that it has a sister in Lyabanta with Upasarga Yukta Dhatus. Then we saw Panchami Vibhakti, 3 variations. Now we are switching to a Tasil Pratyaya. This is called Tasil Pratyaya. See, that's what I have named here. So it's sometimes good to know the technical title. Then you know you can You can, if somebody asks two smarts, you can ask, do you know about Tasil Pratyaya? And then like that, shut them up. Don't use it for that. Okay. So Tasil is from which this Taha comes. Okay. So in the sense of ablative case, Taha is added to words in the same sense. Basically, Ramat, Ramataha. Okay, Harehe, Haritaha. It's easier, cheaper, right? Hari, Haritaha. Nadi, Naditaha. Guru, Gurutaha. Rama, Ramataha. You don't have to worry. But this one, you should not overuse. You should know the Panchami case and use it. In the complex cases, you're okay to use Taha, or for color variations, when you don't want to keep repeating Ramat, Ramat, you can throw in some Taha variations. Okay. So the beauty of this Taha addition is there is no worry whether it is Ikaranta, Ukaranta, Akaranta, no worry whether it's Pullinga, Strilinga, Napumsakalinga. It's very easy to add it to most Pratipadikas just like that, Taha, Taha like that. So Pushpam, Pushpataha, Ramaha, Ramataha, Sita, Sitataha. So Akarantatva is retained. Hari, Haritaha, Harihi, Haritaha, like that. Okay, Matihi, Matitaha, like that. Nadi, Nadi, Naditaha. Okay, see, Nadi, Nadyaha. It's not easy to remember, right? See, Naditaha, very easy. It becomes it bears fruit with the more complex declension cases. There is no difference in meaning between these two forms. Study attentively the following sentences for better acquaintance. So I'll just go through for lack of time. Vrikshat parnam patati. Vrikshataha parnam patati. Balaha shalayaha agatavan. From the shala. So this is can be Panchami or Shashti. How do we know? So Shalayaha Agatavan cannot be Shashti because the Agatavan cannot belong as a possessed item of Shala. So it must be source. So it is Panchami. So Shalayaha, that we analyze when we reverse analyze the Vibhaktis. But Shalayaha, Shalataha leaves no doubt from the Shala Agatavan. It cannot be Shashti. Shalataha is not usable in Shashti. It's only usable in Panchami. Shakayaha palam patitam. Shakataha palam patitam. From the branch the fruit fell. Bhaktena devyaha varaha praptaha. Devyaha. From the Devi the boon was obtained. Here you can interpret it as the boon of the Devi also. Nothing wrong. Because Devi is the source of the boon. Also she is the possessor of the boon to eventually pass it on to Bhakta. So here it could be Shashti, but the interpretation if it is Panchami, Devitaha is a very easy replacement. So Bhaktena Devitaha Varaha Praptaha. So by the Bhakta from the Devi, okay, the boon was obtained. Saha Saraswatyaha Pustakam Svikritavan. So Saraswatyaha Pustakam can be Saraswati's book or Saraswati as the source giving the book. Obviously, it is her book also, even in that case. But anyway, so he received a book from Saraswati. So Saha Saraswati Taha Pustakam Svikritavan, like this. So here Bhaktaya Devat Devataha. So Bhaktaya Devat Anugraha Praptaha, something like that. Again, our protagonist, what's forget her name. She is the author of Tirupavai. Andal, Tirupavai, Andal. Andal and Krishna. Sorry, I cannot forget her name. How can I? Okay, so let us do some abhyasa. We have some minutes before we get our break. So let's do this practice. So we crowdsource, very easy. So write the Twanta forms of the following verbs. So after completing it, this should go to your scratch book for practice. Okay, so that you know the forms of Twantas. Gacchati, patati becomes patitva. Gacchati,
Gatva.
gatva. Very easy. Dhyayati,
Yatva.
Dhyatva. Dhyatva. Very good. This ya is there in the lat because of the gana of the dhatu. Ya comes. Okay. So in some dhatus, this ya is that's called vikarana pratyaya. Okay, it comes before the ting pratyaya. So usually dhatu plus vikarana pratyaya plus ting pratyaya happens for a lakara. So the vikarana pratyaya for the gana, I think it's the fourth gana if I remember right. It's having yaso dhadhyayati, chorayati, this kind of churadi gana, I think. Okay, so take it with a pinch of salt, all the technical details I'm giving. But anyway, so dhyatva. Okay, there is no ya in the original dhatu, so dhya, so dhyatva, like that. Smarati,
Smritva.
mritva, so smr comes. So ar is a guna of the rikara, so smritva. Okay, so the original swara comes back. Smritva. Likhati, likhitva, ikara comes. Very well done. Likhatva, immediately you know, something doesn't sound right. So likhitva, okay, likhitva. By abhyasa, we will know the form. Okay. Some nice entertainment from Mrinalini Variye for all of us. Karoti,
Kritva.
kritva. Okay. Shrunoti, shrutva. Okay. So be very careful here, guys. Okay. So this is a stumper. See, is it sh with rtva or sh with repa u? Okay, it is sh with repa u, shrutva. Okay, not shritva, it is shrutva. Okay, shrutva, like this. This is a technicality, please remember. You can very easily misspell it this way. Sh plus r, which is swara r. No, it is sh plus repa plus u, shru, shru. Okay, shr, shru. Okay, all right. So, milati,
Militva.
militva. No, militva only. Okay. Male comes for niche. That means when you transfer it, melaitva, like that. Make someone else meet another, like that. Okay. Nayati, neetva. Well done. Neetva, neetva, not netva. Neetva. Okay. All right. So that's why we should build our scratch sheet with all these forms. Kridati, kriditva, itva again, kriditva. Harati, hritva, similar to smritva. See, smarati, smritva. Similarly, harati, hritva. R comes. Okay, h plus r. So don't they make the mistake of h plus repa plus u. See, whereas shrutva had repa plus u, hritva has h plus r. We have to remember that it should not be misspelled that way. Pronunciation sounds very close. Hritva, hrutva. Shrutva, shritva. Very close pronunciation, but distinction is very high distinction. One r instead of one repa and u. So it's quite different here. Okay. So write the Lyabanta forms of the following verbs. Okay. We have a Kaka also wants to join us. Such a colorful class. Pariharati, parihritya. So now Lyabantas have to take place. Okay. Avagachati.
Avagatya.
Avagamya. Okay. Gam dhatu. Oh, avagatya. Avagatya only. Avagamya I have written here. Let me check. Okay. I am going to immediately check with Ashtadhyayi.com.
Gachati is gatva, so I thought avagachati will be avagatya.
But let's find out. Okay, always go to the Guruvarya in the ashtadhyayi.com. Find out how they have decided. Gam dhatu I am doing. It's a little slow, the website. Okay, gam gatau, and then go into kridante and lyap twa lyap pragamya gatya, both are there. Okay, lucky, we are lucky. So there are two lyap forms, gamya and gatya are available there. Okay, nothing wrong. Either of them can be used. So avagatya is also correct. Avagamya is also correct. Okay. So I have put both there. And that's why looks like I cross-checked before I did this slide. Okay. Parinayati.
Parinatya.
Pariniya sounds like pariniya to me. Pariniya. Okay. Nayati niya. So pariniya. Correct. Pariniya. Ana because of repa. Ana becomes rana. So nayati is the original kriya pada in lat. Ni dhatu. So niya is the form, but niya it becomes because of repa. Pariniya. Having wedded, like that. Upavishati.
Upavishya.
Upavishya. Very good. Upadishati.
Upadishya.
Upadishya. Some of the easier ones are coming now. Agachati.
Agatya.
Two forms. Agamya, agatya. Okay. Agatya, agamya. Both are correct. Akarshati. Akrishya. Okay. Akrishya. Okay. Krishya. So kar becomes kr back to its original kr dhatu. Okay. Akrishya. Krish. Nirdishati.
Nirdishya.
Nirdishya. Nirdishya. Correct. Nirmati.
Nirmitya.
Nirmatya. Nirmapya. Sounds again like agatya, agamya. To my mind, nirmatya, nirmapya. I have heard a lot of nirmapya. So nirmaya. Either is incorrect. So tough. Dhatus are tough. Nirmaya is the form. My God. I'll check this. Okay, I cannot directly search the Kridanta form, so I have to give Nirmati and go and check. 1 second. Nirmati. Nirmati. Actually, it will be Mati. Original dhatu is Mati. Mati. Ma, mane, to measure. So, Mati, and I go to Kridanta section there, and Pramaya, lep, Pramaya. So, Nirmaya, correct. So, Ma dhatu has the Maya form. So, Nirmaya. So, this is correct, Nirmaya. There is no option. So, Nirmitva is definitely incorrect, Tvanta. So, Nirmapya also seems incorrect. Okay. So, Nirmaya. Apaharati. Apahritya. So, hru dhatu. Similar to hrutva, but tilyapanta. So, hrutya. Apahritya. Apasarati.
Apasrutya.
Srutya. Okay. So, some are real stumpers. I think that's what I also make mistakes. It's okay if we get 80-90% right. We are in the winning section. Murmu Varya has to only get 60% of the votes. So, all right. Combine the two sentences using Tvanta form. So this is an interesting exercise. Saha patati, saha gacchati, saha patitva gacchati. Like that. So Ramaha snati, devam pujayati.
Ramah snatva.
Snatva devam pujayati. Good. So Ramaha snatva devam pujayati. Second half remains invariant almost. So this only we have to vary, remove the full stop. Snati, snatva. So Harihi dhavati lakshyam prapnoti.
Harihi
Bhavitva.
Bhavitva.
Bhavitva. Having run, Hari obtains the target. Not our Hari. This is our Laukika Hari. Who is in a hurry? Guru patati artham vivrunoti. Patitva artham vivrunoti. I wish in exams if we get these dhatus, we are in a good wicket. Patitva artham vivrunoti. So after having read, the Guru, if he knows, will explain the meaning like that. Saha vakyam likhati kantasthi karoti.
सः वाक्यं लिखित्वा कण्ठस्थीकरोति.
Correct. Likhitva sankantasti karoti. Likhitva. Very good. So after writing, he memorizes the word. Kantasti karana, you see this beautiful phrase. So to make it belong to the throat. Okay. That what that eventually means is to keep it in the tip of your tongues, as we say in English, is kantasti karana in Sanskritam. Beautiful phrases. Chatraha vakyam smarati vadati.
छात्रः वाक्यं
छात्रः
वदति.
वदति
Correct. Everybody got it right. Chatraha vakyam smrutva vadati. Having remembered, he tells. Sa gurum pruchati. Artham janati.
सा गुरुं पृच्छित्वा
Prishtitva no. Prishtitva is incorrect. Prishtva. Simple. Prishtva artham janati. Sa gurum prishtva artham janati. See here I have the full breakup of that. P, R, Sh, T, V, A. Shtva. Okay. So prishtva. Prishtva. 2 letters. Sevakah adesham shrunoti tadanugunam acharati.
श्रुत्वा तदनुगुणम्
Acharati. So a rare case of a good servant. So a servant listens to the directive and then according to the directive tadanugunam acharati, he enacts. So adesham shrutva tadanugunam acharati. Shrutva, again you remember this shrutva. Sh repa u shru, not shir. Okay. Grihastha. We should not say grahastha. Grahastha means one caught by the planet, which means one who has bad omen, which is normally the case anyway. But anyway, grihastha panchangam pashyati tithim janati.
गृहस्थः पञ्चाङ्गं दृष्ट्वा तिथिं
Drishtva,
जानाति
brilliant, brilliant. Drishtva, not pashtva or something like that. Okay, drishtva. So grihastha panchangam drishtva tithim janati. So he finds out what is at his fate. he better ask his ardhangi rather than panchanga. Then he will get better fate. I think he is asking the wrong anga. He's asking panchanga instead of ardhangi. Okay. Right. Ardhangi in Sanskritam means better half or other half. Okay, which is basically wife. Okay. All right. So we will take a break at this time and we'll come back and follow the next exercise from the break. Take your 3 minutes break. 12:10 we will gather and continue our abhyasa. Okay. sorry, I was speaking without unmuting. So we will continue our exercise now. This time also is a pair of sentences, except this time they have given with upasarga, so that some Lyabantavya practice also takes place. So it's important in the exam, we won't know whether upasarga is there or not. We have to notice it carefully and do the transformations. Here it's known, everything has upasarga, so it becomes a little cakewalk. Okay, but still, what kind of, how to attach the Lyabanta is non-trivial anyway. We saw for some dhatus, there is some complexity involved. So let us practice some. Saha upavishati dhyanam karoti. Saha upavishya dhyanam karoti. Having sat down, he does the dhyana. Okay. Mata jalam pariveshayati. Annam pariveshayati.
Pariveshya.
Pariveshya annam pariveshayati. Like Bhagini did, we can just go shortcut. We can just answer the Lyabanta. So Mata jalam pariveshya annam pariveshayati. So same dhatu is appearing twice. Having served the water, she serves the rice or food. Anna is sometimes generic for food also. Okay. Sevakah rajjum akarshati nayati.
Akrishya.
Akrishya. Very good. Sevakah rajjum akrishya nayati. So the worker, he drags the rope and takes. That means he draws something with the rope, something like that. Okay. Hopefully not an expensive suitcase. Dushtah kalaham utpadayati santosham anubhavati.
Utpadya.
Utpadya. Very good. So the bad fellow, having generated the fight, he enjoys. The world is full of these guys. So all right. Karmakari patrani kshamyatam. Karmakari patrani prakshalayati griham gatavati.
Prakshalya.
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 Don't go prakshalayitva, because the temptation is there to say prakshalayitva. So no, shalayitva is correct, but prakshalya. Okay. So karmakari patrani prakshalya griham gatavati. So patram, one vessel, patrani, many vessels. Okay. So having cleaned the vessels, she went home. Tvam uttishta namaskaram kuru.
Uttaya.
Uttishya. Uthaya. Better to actually see, it is good to make mistakes. Then only you know the correct form. Okay. Tvam uthaya namaskaram kuru. It comes into complex cases. Okay. Stha dhatu. Okay. Sthitva. Okay, is the normal tvanta. Uthaya is the lyabanta. Tvam mama griham agaccha. Vipanim gaccha. Agatya, agamya. Both are possible. Tvam mama griham agatya. Vipanim gaccha. Agatya, agamya. Okay. So come to my home first and then go to the shop. That's what. Vipani is shop. Okay. Apanikaha, apanam, vipani. Vipani, apana is used in somehow in Laukika Rudi. Apanam is used for one shop and vipani, sometimes they use it for a collection of shops. I have seen something like that. But finally it is shop. Kapihi vriksham arohati itastatah pashyati. Okay. I heard a few variations. Arohya is incorrect. Aruhya. Aruhya. In the O that is there is a growth of what was ruh. So ruhya. Aruhya. Okay. Kapihi vriksham aruhya itastatah pashyati. So the dhatu first reverts to its original forms and then takes the lyabanta. Okay. All right. So kapihi vriksham aruhya itastatah pashyati. The monkey having gotten up the tree, it watches this and that, or watches here and there. So aham grantham parishilayami mitraya pratidadami. Parishilya. Hrusva dirgha. Parishilya mitraya pratidadami. I will check the book and then give it to the, give it back. See, prati dadami has the sense of return. Okay, so give it back to the friend. Okay, well done. Parishilya. All right, so we did that all correct. Now write the ablative case forms of the following words. Parvatah, parvatat. So this is very straightforward exercise. Nagaram,
Nagarat.
nagarat. Akashah,
Akashat.
akashat. We have to be careful when strilinga padas come, guys. Okay, that's when the alert comes. Lata,
Lataya.
Lataya.
latayaha. Correct. Shashti and Panchami have the same form. Nadi,
Nadya.
nadyaha, nadyaha. Vrikshaha,
Vriksha.
Vrikshat.
vrikshebhyah. Vrikshat is ekavachana. Okay, vrikshaha being bahuvachana, we have to go vrikshebhyah. Ramat, ramabhyam, ramebhyah. Vrikshat, vrikshabhyam, vrikshebhyah. Okay,
Vrikshebhyah.
grihani, grihebhyah, just like Rama Shabda. Okay, because after Tritiya onwards, it is pulling avat. So grihebhyah. Okay, very easy. Okay, then choraha,
Chorebhyah.
chorebhyah, easy one. Vyagraha,
Vyagre.
vyagrebhyah, very easy. Shakha,
Shakhaya.
shakhayaha, from the branch. Kaumudi, kaumudyaha, dirgha, kaumudyaha, from the moonlight. Okay, due to moonlight. Kaumudyaha nandati is due to type of case. There is only a bhava from Kaumudi. So Kaumudi is not really like a physical source. Okay. Answer the following questions in Sanskrit. So easy one. So you can still crowdsource. Kebhyah palani pathanti. Vrikshebhyah.
Shebhyah.
Okay. So now here one caution note. Okay. Till now tasil pratyaya we had seen, no? Tasil pratyaya doesn't have a sense of vachana. That is the deficiency of tasil pratyaya. You cannot go vrikshatah. There is nothing like plurality source in tasil. It is like a singularity source. So you are forced to use vrikshebhyah when you go to bahuvachana source definition. Okay, you cannot substitute with vrikshatah because somehow it doesn't convey the bahuvachana. Vrikshatah palani patanti can mean from one tree many fruits fall, whereas the sense was from which all, right? So the answer would have been vrikshebhyah. So you cannot substitute vrikshatah for vrikshebhyah. They should have highlighted this in the tasil section. They did not. So here through these examples I am telling you. Okay, so you cannot go tasil for bahuvachana or dvivachana. Okay, dvivachana sometimes you will understand Rama Lakshmanataha. Okay, we understand Rama was one source, Lakshmana was one source, Rama Lakshmanataha, because both the names are there, it is not confusing. So it is okay to use tasil for such cases. But if it was from two Ramas, you cannot use tasil. Ramo, so Ramat, Ramabhyam. So you cannot substitute Ramataha for Ramabhyam. Ramataha can only be a substitute for Ramat. Okay, so dvivachana also it stumps you, except for dvandva like Rama Lakshmanataha, Rama Sitataha. Those places you can get away because both the namapadas are there in the dvandva. Okay, so itera dvandva you can use it. For normal dvivachana you cannot use tasil. You can use it, but it sounds like ekavachana. Okay, important to keep that in head. So it is not 100% substitute. Graminaha kutaha agacchati.
Gramat.
Gramat or gramatah. Okay, gramat or gramatah, both are correct answers. See, the question uses tasil. Kasmat could have been used, but kutaha has been used. See, the tasil is available for the kim shabda also. Kasmat or kutaha. Okay, so important. Tarunyah kasyaha nandanti.
Kaumadya.
Kaumudyaha nandanti. So tarunebhyah na nandanti. Kaumudyaha nandanti. Okay, we'll not get there. Gajaha kasmat trasyanti.
Vyagra.
Vyagrat trasyanti. Gaja
Vyagrat.
Vyagra.
simhat, vyagrat, atapat, perhaps. in Sahara desert, they they become this also. Atapatrasyanti. Tas trasa, see, udvega is the artha of trasa. Udvega means some kind of tension. That is the sense, not necessarily bhiti. It's about tension, udvega. Okay. Naryah kasmat atrasyan.
Sarpat.
Sarpat atrasyan.
Sarpat.
Dushtat atrasyan. Dushtat atrasyan. Sarpat atrasyan. Okay. Bhimah kasmat paraha.
Yudhishthira.
Yudhishtirat paraha. That's very clear. Duryodhanaadapi paraha va prayah tatha. So Yudhishtirat paraha. Chaitrah kasmat purvah. Vaishakhat. Okay. Vaishakhat or Vaishakatah. Vaishakatha. So potentially we have to, that's why I brought up the list. So good. I have done some good work here. So let us remember our Indian months. Chaitraha, Vaishakaha, Jeshtaha, Ashadaha, Shravanaha, Bhadrapadaha, Ashwinaha, Kartikaha, Margashiraha, Paushaha, Magaha, Palgunaha. In Tamil, we have slightly different names. Of course, we also use the Samskrita Babramsha names in our Margashirsha. In Kannada also we say Margashirsha. It is Margashir. So Margashira also we say sometimes. So this Margashirsha is the correct name. Okay. Pushya we say instead of Paushaha. We say Pushya, Magha, Palguna. So some variations are there, but this is the standard. Chaitraha, Vaishakaha, Jyeshtaha, Ashadaha, Shravanaha, Bhadrapadaha, Ashwinaha, Kartikaha, Margashiraha, Paushaha, Magaha, Palgunaha. Okay. Starting from March, I guess, Chaitra. चैत्रः वैशाखात् पूर्वः, वैशाखः ज्येष्ठात् पूर्वः, ज्येष्ठः आषाढात् पूर्वः, एक्सेट्रा. महाभारतं कस्मात् विस्तृतम्? रामायणात् विस्तृतम्. Better to compare with Ramayana because itihasa granthas, na? Who knows the size of Puranas? So it's easy to go with Ramayana. Or Ramayanam Mahabharatat, how do you say? Vistrutam, na vistrutam. Okay, we can negate and get away with it.
Sankuchitam or something, sir?
Sankuchitam. Samyak varya. Samyak, sankuchitam. So, व्यावहारिक शब्दावलिः. अद्यतन शब्दानि सन्ति, शब्दाः क्षम्यतां, शब्दाः सन्ति, फलानि, पुष्पाणि च. तो फलानि पठितुं पुरुषमेकं, पुष्पाणां नाम पठितुं महिलामेकम् आह्वयामः. तो अद्य पवनकुमारवर्यः अस्ति. पवनकुमारवर्यम् आह्वयामि. First I will do a mute all because we have finished with the common sourcing. Pavan Kumar Varya, if you can unmute. Okay, he may be, he's available.
व्यावहारिक शब्दाः फलानि,
not fa, pha.
फलं,
Phalani.
फलानि, आम्रफलं, मैंगो, पनसफलं, जैकफ्रूट, कदलीफलं, बनाना, सेवफलं, एप्पल, द्राक्षफलं, ग्रेप्स, नारंजफलं, ऑरेंज, जम्बूफलं, रोज एप्पल, खर्जूरः, डेट्स, कलिंगम, वाटरमेलन, मधुकर्कटी, पपाया, भल्लातकफलं, cashew nut.
Thank you, Varya. Thanks for reading. So, Amrapalam, I will just read the Sanskrit just for double practice. Amrapalam, Panasapalam. So, sometimes I make the mistake of making Mahaprana. That is incorrect. Panasapalam. Pha has Mahaprana, but Panasa has Alpaprana. Panasapalam. Panasapalam. Kadali Phalam. Seva Phalam. Draksha Phalam. Drakshani is also enough. Naranga Phalam. Jambu Phalam. This is actually purple fruits, right? The tree fruit, only very seasonal. Right now is the season. Kharjuraha, Kalingam, Madhukarkati, Bhallataka Palam, Phalam, Kshamatam, Bhallataka Palam. So these are the beautiful fruits. So remember them. So let's invite Brunalini Varye. Can you participate?
Ha, Mahoday.
Ha, Mahodaya. Did you get a chance already today, Bagini?
Yes, I had
Oh,
got.
then I will call someone else just to broaden the participation. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
So
No problem.
Monica Varye.
Pushpani,
Ha.
Kamalam, lotus, Japa kusumam, hibiscus, Mukulam, bud, Jati, jasmine variety, Mandaraha, coral flower, Patalam, rose, Sevantika, Mallika, jasmine, Parijata, Shankha pushpam, conch flower, Ketaka flower, Champaka pushpam, Champaka flower.
Flower. Okay, guys, this is a delight. Actually, some places they have shortcut by using the same name in English because in India we know them more by that name. But follow the pictures tracking as I reread them. Thanks, Bagini, for reading. So, Kamalam, lotus, but also you can extend it to the other smaller variants that we use. Okay, Kamalam, lotus, basically lilies, water lilies can also be taken in under Kamalam. Okay. Then Japa Kusumam, what a beautiful name. Japa Kusumam, hibiscus. It is very particularly dear to Lord Shiva. So it is used a lot. So Japa Kusumam for Japa. Okay, so hibiscus. Okay. Mukulam is a generic term. It's not any particular flower, bud. Okay. So Kamalasya Mukulam, Japa Kusumasya Mukulam can be there. Okay. Athva Mukulam Japa Kusumam. That means a bud which is hibiscus. Okay. So it's qualifier. Then Jati. Okay. This one is actually we call it climber jasmine. That is Jati Pushpa. In fact, we call it as Jaji in Kannada. I don't know how do you call it in other languages. We call it Jaji. In our front of our house to the side on a trellis, this grows abundantly. So Jati Kusumam or Jati. So this one is jasmine variety. So it's very profound inflorescence for a long time in bunches and smells beautiful in the evening. Okay. Nityamalli is another name. Daily. Okay. So then Mandara, very rare nowadays. In our area, we have a few Mandara trees. This is again a small tree, not very tall, coral flowers, beautiful flowers, which look like orchid, but it's not orchid. So Mandara, coral tree flower. Okay. Then Patalam, very popular, rose of course. I have a rose bed here, I have a regular rose here. Patalam, Patala Pushpam or Patalam.
Sir, one question.
Yes, Varya.
This Mukulam is a bird, so can we say Kamalasya Mukulam, something like that?
Mukulam Kamalam or Kamalasya Mukulam. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When it is a bud, not yet fully blown. Yeah. Then Sevantika. Okay. They have called it Sevantika chrysanthemum. Okay. You see this, you are familiar. In the olden days, we used to dominantly get yellow color. We still, that is the dominant species, yellow chrysanthemum. But nowadays we get dark purple, dark red, we get light purple, beautiful colors we get nowadays. Sometimes we get near green, near blue, very beautiful flower, Sevantika. Also smells good. So Sevantika. Then Mallika, the king, the queen. Okay. How can I say the king? The queen of flowers, right? Nobody matches her smell. Mallika. Okay. So of course there is a competition between different cities about which Mallika is the better smelling one. Madurai calls its own Mallika as the best one. Mysuru calls its own as the best one. And also it comes in varieties, single whorl, multi whorl, etc. What I have shown is the multi whorl variety. Mallika, jasmine. Parijatam. So this is again a tree flower. Oh, right now is the season. When this tree blooms and there is a wind, there is a carpet of parijatam below. Beautiful sight with its white and with the orange stalk and center. Beautiful look. Again, smells beautiful in the night. Parijatam. Okay, then Shankha Pushpam, conch flower. It's a creeper, small creeper to which this grows. It looks like a Shankha. You see this. Okay, Shankha Pushpam. Then Ketaki. Ah, beautiful smelling flower. This is actually a cactus flower. Okay, you see this? It's a cactus like, I don't know whether to call it a cactus, but the flower is typical cactus with sharp edges. It is used, even the leaves and the flowers are used for decorating the hair. Nowadays, they make toranas with it, right? They make these hangings for the roof and for the doorway and all that. So Ketaki, okay, Ketaka flower. Again, mesmerizing smell when it's in season. Okay. Then Champaka Pushpam, Champak flower, another tree flower. Okay. Oh, unparalleled smell. It competes with Mallika really in season. Okay. And you can keep it in a small bowl. It will smell for 3 days and make everything fragrant. Beautiful. Champak, Champaka Pushpam. There was a Hindu community in central Vietnam area, and they called themselves Champaks, Champas, I think, Champas or something like that. So maybe from Champaka Pushpa, I don't know. Okay. So you can choose your favorite flower and favorite fruit from this wonderful list. For me, it is Panasa Phalam and Ketaki. Ketaki wins it for me in her unique nature. Okay, it's becoming rarer and rarer. So Prahelika. So let us do one more section before we move on to Sunday. So today's quiz, Prahelika, is this one. Doesn't look too difficult. Let us see. Apado duragami cha saksharo na cha panditah amukah sputavakta cha yojanati sa panditah. Slowly. Apado duragami cha साक्षरो न च पंडितः अमुकः स्फुटवक्ता च यो जानाति स पंडितः. So apadah duragami cha, not with feet, bereft of feet. Apadah, one bereft of feet. Duragami cha, but yet one able to go far. Thank you. One able to move far. Saksharah na cha panditah, is with letters but is not a pandit. I mean, contains letters but doesn't have panditya. Letters in the sense of aksharams, that is the actual alphabet. Okay. Amukaha sputavakta, doesn't have a face but is a very clear speaker. He speaks very clearly. Okay. Sputavakta. Okay. So with these kind of contradictions, who is he? One who knows. Yah janati saha panditaha. One who knows the answer. He indeed is a pandit. Very easy answer. Similar to our Padaraksha business. This guy. This verse. Okay, this Prahelika. Without legs, it moves far. It is full of letters, but not a scholar. It speaks distinctly without a mouth. Okay, Amuka has been given the mouth rather than the face, which I think is accurate. The one who knows it is a scholar. So I have split into sentences, but very straightforward. So any volunteers for answering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letter radio, sir?
Letter.
Radio is a good. I like this. Radio is also a good answer because see, doesn't have feet but goes far in the air, right? And obviously everything in radio is about words, and it's not a pandit in any sense, radio. And Amukaha Sputavakta, maybe we can say the speaker in the radio is like a mouth and he speaks clearly, but it's not like a regular face with two eyes, nose, etc. So applies. So Bhagini is very correct. Okay. So how do you call radio instrument? Akashavani. Akashavani Yantram. Akashavani Yantram. is the radio, right? But it could be Akashavani Yantram, has to be accepted as the answer because it fits the bill. But even more ancient than Akashavani, what was it?
Letter.
Letters, correct. And the word used in Sanskritam is Samapatram for postcard. Okay. So I have been served some excellent tea. Sorry for making you all envious by sipping it. So Samapatram is the answer as far as exam is concerned. But please do put / Akashavani Yantram. Okay. It's a good thing for radio. There may be another shorter word that we can derive, but we know Akashavani is the name for all radio stations in India. So Akashavani Yantram is pretty nice. Okay. So the answer is this postman's letter. Today, see, he has got even a iPad. Okay. So Samapatram postcard. Okay. So I have pulled some interesting letter to Modi from Geeta Vangad. Ungad must be from Maharashtra somewhere. South Block, Raisina Hill, New Delhi. What a simple address. Modi sir, we are thanking you for your great establishment of medical college in our district and something as we people need it. Thanking you. So nice. Somebody is not asking for something, is thanking for something. Okay, so nice. And our Mahatma Gandhi is there. Samapatram. So with that, let us conclude today. So tomorrow we start with wonderful Parvati. Okay, who is brightening herself for providing her grace to us. I didn't know I had all these effects going on the screen. So let us gather back tomorrow promptly at 11 o'clock and continue our pursuit of the studies. We have this 8th lesson to conclude and 9th and 10th to follow with a question paper review. We'll need a few more weekends, and so perhaps into the first weekends of August we will continue our study. All right. Now another appeal to you, as you guys are
When will
also.
be the exam, sir?
Exam is
When will
on
be
the last Sunday of August.
August? Okay, thank you.
Last Sunday of August. Okay.
Sir, we got the email today.
Yeah,
got
this
today.
time there is other than for remote location guys, they want to conduct it as a physical exam in the centers. Okay. So likely, for example, for Bengaluru, there will be a Bengaluru centers. For district headquarters, wherever there will be centers. Okay. But for those of you who have to do it postally, you may have to send in a special request. If you're in a major cities, you have to send in a special request. Please kindly send me the I would like to participate through post or something like that. Then they will post your question paper. I don't know that they will give online PDF and all question paper on at 10 a.m. of that Sunday, etc. This time they want to encourage back physical participation in exam, and that animus is important for Samskrita Bharati, of physical gathering, reforming new groups in the local area so that studies can continue, etc. But online teaching might continue because that is very convenient. Okay, so be ready for that. So another thing I want to tell, as you please stay back for a few more minutes. Tomorrow also I will repeat. So in August sometime is the Sanskrit week. So Samskrita Saptaha, Samskrita Bharati celebrates that. But what I would like to appeal to you guys, to all of you students, is to support our mother organization. I every year also support it. In addition to helping them as a volunteer in teaching and other causes, also provide monetary help, because all of them are volunteers, full-time volunteers, dedicating their life in the cause of Sanskritam over there, doing wonderful work of publishing magazines, books, and conducting these exams. As you know, the 300 odd rupees that we give is probably burnt up even in the book printing and sending all the communications, etc. like that. So we must otherwise try to support them. So I will send out an appeal with a form showing you how to contribute to our Bengaluru center. and they can if your contribution is above certain level, like above 2000 rupees or something, they usually also share a receipt. They have shared the receipt even for smaller sums earlier. They will post the receipts to respective places. So I will send an appeal form for you to contribute alongside me. I will also join my contribution this time also. So please look forward to that communication from me and kindly respond to help them as part of the Samskrita Saptaha contributions. Okay. All right. So with that appeal, and let's do a prayer today. Any questions? Okay. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ओम पुनः मिलामः नमः सर्वेभ्यः।